time has come. Execute Order 66.
Those born of Mandalore strayed away from the path. Eventually, the Imperial interlopers destroyed all that we knew and loved in the Night of 1,000 Tears.
It's well hidden and unstable. One blast to any part of it will destroy the entire station. Oh, it's beautiful.
If you had to choose between one or the other, okay, it's one of those questions. Would you rather lose your memories and retain all the knowledge you've ever gained, but forget all the people you ever met? Or would you rather lose all your memories of all the knowledge you've ever learned?
I'd forget
all the people.
I'd forget everybody. Keep my knowledge. Yep. Do I get to restart life?
No.
So I just have to go on my life fucked, one or the other.
Well, when you say restart your life, you mean you get to relearn all your stuff, right?
No, I'm not trying to learn everything over again. Fuck that. I'd meet new people.
But what I was saying is, like, if you kept all your knowledge, right? And everybody around you, your girlfriend, wife, kids, family, friends, best friends, friends you've known all your life, don't know who you don't know who they are.
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd do that. Fuck it. Or be retarded. You're saying
you can learn.
Oh yeah, you're gonna learn how to fucking write again, learn how to spell your name, learn how to read. You're fucking 34 years old.
But who all your people are.
No.
You know your spouse, your kids.
Nope.
Your best friends.
Nope. I'd forget all about Star Wars. Have to learn all that shit again. You know what would happen? Is all these people, they'd still know me.
Yeah.
So, hey, you were once my friend. Okay, we'll see how this goes.
But I think I would choose to forget everything I ever learned and relearn it again.
Yeah, I mean, some people like to be a little messed up. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Actually, I got to say something for the record.
Go ahead.
You're right.
You're talking about him falling in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just fell straight down faster than a torpedo. So,
yeah. Well, that armor is probably heavy, right?
Hey, but you know what, James? You were right.
About what?
She didn't know that it falls in 100-foot drop because it ended up splitting when the bombs dropped.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess we're both right.
I'm just glad that they explained it, because I would have been mad if they didn't explain that.
Yeah, like the Bad Batch, that just starts on the next episode and it doesn't say, "Hey, by the way, this is what really truly happened."
Yeah, at least in Rebels and stuff like that. Well, maybe not Rebels, but Clone Wars, it always had like a prequel. It's like, what happened beforehand. I don't remember if Rebels did or not.
Yeah. But yeah, I wrote down the cap. I don't know how many pages I took notes off of, but 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. 5 pages.
All right, I got a question real quick.
What's up?
Did you think that G68, Miss Kane, did you think that she was evil? Did you know?
There are subtle hints.
Yeah, like the way she walks.
Well, not just that, but the red lollipop.
the red lollipop, and then she also preferred the red biscuits.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny because she's at the end she's eating yellow biscuits.
Oh yeah, no, she's just eating them because like she's just fucked that.
Maybe they're his.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Well, she gave him all those, so technically those were hers. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Do you like Star Wars? Because we do too. Welcome to Nerd Out Nerd Style. I'm Clinton Ritchie.
I'm James Orr.
And get ready to nerd out with Mando, Season 2, Episode 3, The Converts.
Season 3,
Episode 3, Converts. Now, James,
yes,
go ahead
sir.
and get us with that recap.
All right. So the client, if you don't know who that is, watch season 1. All right. So the client says this Dr. Pershing, his don't worry about him, disregard him because his outweighs his discretion. And we see Elia Kane asks, "What do you have for me?" Now I have a question. Who the hell is she asking that to? I'm going to have to rewatch season 1 so I can learn her evil stuff.
Oh, I'm
pretty sure it's Moff Gideon.
Season 2 is actually when she appears.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know. She said, "What do you have for me?" And then it cuts to Mando saying, "If I visit the planet and I can bring you proof that I have bathed in the living waters, then by creed I would be redeemed." Bo-Katan, it cuts to Bo-Katan saying, "There's nothing magic." Keyword magic. All right. There's nothing magic about the mines of Mandalore. They supplied Beskar ore to our ancestors, and the rest is superstition. All right. So
it does start off. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, it starts off with her looking at the waters, right?
Yeah, and Mando's all
passed
not
out. Looking, just more like staring at, like, oh my God, what have I just saw? And then it cuts over to Din Djarin going, like he just came to, like he wasn't breathing. But we see little Grogu standing next to him. And I have written down here, do you think Grogu force healed Din Djarin?
No.
Really?
No. No, Grogu would have been
a little bit.
He would have been closing his eyes and going like this with his hand. But he didn't do any of that.
He comes to before that.
Well, you look
the backside of him.
You look over and you just see Mando just like laying there, like completely passed out. Bo-Katan doesn't give a crap. She's just sitting right next to him. Doesn't even try to give him CPR or anything. But he pops up like he always does.
Can you?
What?
You can't give him CPR. Can't remove his helmet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Get back in there. Let's do this again.
So anyways, he's just laying there. He wakes up, though. But luckily, or this is something I don't understand. So she talks to him, asks him if he saw anything as he was falling down. He says, no, all I could see was like the cliffs or something like that as I was falling.
I saw the chasm.
Yeah,
passing by as I fell. Yeah, the chasm.
I think it's chasm. Well, she says, "Did you see anything?"
He said nothing.
He says, "No, I didn't. Did you see anything?" Well, he says that, he saw the chasm. Then he says that she goes, "Did you see anything alive?" And he goes, "No." Now, do you think that she just thought she saw him, like the mythosaur down there, or do you think that she actually saw the mythosaur and just isn't telling him? And if she's not telling him, why do you think she's not telling him?
Would you tell him?
Well, yeah, I think I would. Unless she's trying to plot against them.
I think I would tell at least the armorer. Because
you feel like you would tell somebody. But
I would tell Din Djarin over the armorer because Din Djarin's just one man. You know, he says something foolish. You know, it's hard to acknowledge that, but you tell the armor in front of all the people, other Mandalorians, then everybody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they could have put on their fucking jetpacks and jumped in that water and went on down to
Well,
See,
look,
but
the way
she's keeping it a secret. She's playing into the little Creed stuff. But we'll get to that here in a little bit.
But see, if they couldn't handle the alligator, what the hell makes you think they're going to handle a mythosaur?
See, this is what I think is actually going to happen. I think the new Mandalorian leader is going to be Grogu. Listen, he's being taught all the stuff about how like to be a Mandalorian because he chose the Mandalorian, but he's also a Jedi. What can Jedis do?
Use the Force.
They can tap into the mind of a beast and ride him.
Oh.
So I think that Grogu is going to need help with Din Djarin. Maybe Bo-Katan, since Bo-Katan's the only one that knows about it, maybe she'll take Grogu down there. Or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something big. I don't think it's going to happen this season, guys. I think if anything, it's going to happen next season, maybe. Probably next season. I've heard he's got like no plan, like no ending to this. Like that could be a good thing, but it's also like a bad thing that some people think. But to me, that sounds like he just thinks about like how long. He's just got stories he wants to lay out. He doesn't have an ending. He just has a bunch of different stories he wants to do. So we'll see the way everything happens. This is the way.
So I love the opening.
Smells. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I love the way Mando wakes up when he comes to. He's all like, shit. And he looks over. I am redeemed. No shit. You did more than bathe, fucker. You took a shower. But yeah, it says I'm
drowned
bathed.
he drowned in the living waters. That's what he did.
And Bo comes back and says, I witnessed it. You bathed in the living waters. You are a Mandalorian again. Can we leave now?
You know, that whole I witnessed it shit was pissing me off.
Yeah.
She said it like, I witnessed it to him. And then when they get there, she's like, I witnessed it. And they go inside and she goes, I witnessed it. It's like, come on.
Well, I think it's like, almost their whole
She could have said something like, I was there myself. I saw him. But she kept on saying, I witnessed it. Yeah. It just annoyed me.
Right. I think their whole redemption thing is like almost like court in the real world, here in our universe. But she said, can we leave now? And then that's when she asked that question, did you see anything? And then he's like, I didn't realize it was so deep. And then she said, it wasn't. The bombings from the purge must have triggered seismic activities. And then she said, did you see anything alive? And he goes, alive? Like what?
Like
she
a
said,
fish.
Nothing.
Like
little fishy.
Maybe an eel.
A big ass eyeball. And then
she does say there's nothing magical about the living waters and stuff like that.
That's what I was saying. That, yeah.
But then again, he takes that and he pours it in that water, or he gives it to the armor. She pours it in the water and does something magical. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Sorry. Afterwards, they escape. Or they don't escape. They get out of the mines and they climb into their ship. He says, "Take me back to the N1, and I'm forever in your debt for saving me." Pretty much. They take off. And as they're driving, they get attacked by some TIE interceptors. Right. Mm-hmm. So, what do?
Oh, wait. Hey. Bo-Katan told him before the ties. Bo-Katan told him, sorry. She said, I would invite you in for a feast, but I'm guessing that helmet isn't coming off again.
Yeah.
And he goes, this is the way. She said, this is the way. While still wearing her helmet.
Yep, she did say that.
And then do you think Grogu was trying to say this is the way as well?
No, I think he was trying to alert them that there was people coming. Because he could sense them through the forest, and like right after that, they like looked at him and they got hits.
All right. But I have a problem with the TIE interceptors. Because there's a squadron, right? I thought the Empire's down.
The what?
So I thought the Empire was
Oh,
down.
this is something I've heard. I don't know if it's true, so I didn't really want to say anything. But people are saying that it's Thrawn's fleet.
Really?
Yes, that I mean it's just all over Facebook, and you didn't see any of those posts.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I try to stay off social media when I'm trying to
Oh.
not
Well,
get spoiled.
I don't know what's actually going on, so I want to I looked at it, But
Yeah.
there was Thrawn, and then there was somebody else. I can't remember who the other person was, but it might be their fleet too.
Right.
But anyways, they're all the way on the outskirts. So I don't know. I have no idea. There are more people trying to bring back the Empire. It's just not. It's
Right.
not just Moff Gideon. It's a bunch of other Imperial soldiers and stuff.
But she does say that she was robbing Imperial warlords.
Yeah, that's what happens when you rob Imperial warlords.
Now you
Now
know.
you tell me, yeah.
But man, what'd you think? What'd you think about it when they had to? She said, I can't slow down, not with these interceptors on my back. You're gonna have to jump." What do you think about that jump?
I forgot that he had a fucking jetpack until he jumped out. I was like, what does he mean he's going to fall to his death? He's a hunk of arm. I was like, oh, never mind. Jetpack. Duh. First thing that came to my mind was a ball of metal falling to the ground. I was like, it's not Iron Man. He's not just going to hit the ground and be like, oh.
Right.
But then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I'm stupid.
He did hit the ground pretty hard. It seemed.
Well, he kind of he did, but honestly, I was scared while he was falling because I thought that he was not going to he didn't even test his he just that happens a couple times. Like whenever Bo-Katan jumped off in the last episode when she jumped off that cliff, she didn't even. I was thinking in my head, why didn't you use your jetpack and go off? Instead, she just jumped off, relying that her jetpack is going to work. I've seen multiple times in Star Wars where that jetpack malfunctions and they die.
How they control their jetpack?
It's on their. You would think that it's all brain nerves, but you see Mando using something on his wrist, but most people don't. So I'm gonna guess they got like little buttons in their gloves.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that would make some sense.
It's the only thing I can think of.
But yeah, so he gets down to his N1, right? And he lands a little hard and gets back to the N1 and then gets in it. And as he's getting in it, you see the interceptor gunning for him, right? And he starts shooting. And as soon as he gets there, he pulls up, boom, and he flies straight up. And the interceptor follows, and then he turns around and gets.
He doesn't turn; he lets himself fall, and the heavy side falls down, which is awesome in my opinion. Because he didn't just like turn. Now go ahead and say what you're going to say, because I think you're going to say the cool thing.
But he gets reoriented.
That wasn't the cool
turned
thing.
Around. Yeah, I know. He gets That's the cool thing. He gets reoriented, facing down, and he's looking directly at the TIE interceptor. And for some reason, the TIE interceptor thought it was a great idea to keep progressing to him. And then he's like, "I got you in my target lock," and he drops that bomb on him, that little blue bomb thing.
Yeah, this is the part that I'm talking about. But as he shot him, you never see this happen. He goes like this, and he pulls up to go over the blast instead of like going straight through it. I was expecting him to go straight through it like almost all the other Star Wars episodes. But no, he tried to pull around the blast, which was pretty cool in my opinion.
Right.
It made it look like somebody's actually in there.
And if you remember from Rebels, the interceptors have shields.
That's right, they do, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all of them do. Yeah, I think they do. because that's like the only reason.
Like that's their main gimmick is that they have shields, and I thought they had hyperdrive technology.
So what? They just didn't put it into their rear deflector shields or something because they got all blown up with one shot.
Not all of them.
Which one didn't?
Well, the one that shit, I guess they all did, didn't they? Because never mind. Yeah, so
I love it whenever like a good person gets shot and they're like, "I've been hit," and like they don't explode, but you shoot one TIE fighter and they just blow
they
up.
blow up to 100 million pieces. But yeah, so our boy Mando, he goes on a hunting spree, and he shoots 3 down, right? And Bo-Katan takes out a few of them on their own, mainly flying into the cliffs. She only took one out. She took two out.
She took 2 out because she took one out in the cliffs, and then she shot that last one.
Yeah, and what do you think about R5?
I like that they brought in a droid,
Yeah,
like a good little astromech too, because I like the little astromechs, just like
R2D2.
no, yeah, R2 of course. But
And then,
Chomper, there's Chomper.
yeah,
I love
Chopper,
Chomper.
yeah.
And then there's BB-8. That's his name.
Yeah.
I don't really know the new ones, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, BB-8's his name for Ray.
Yeah, they're all astromechs, dude. They're awesome. I love them.
But yeah, so I like the fact that R5 has a personality. Even though he's a robot, he has fear. And she's like, "Don't worry, I've flown these shit, I forget what she
Yeah,
said.
I used to fly these cliffs when I was young.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. I've flown these
And
cliffs
then-
my whole life, is what it was.
Yeah, and then she takes a bank, and then she takes another bank, and then her wing catches the rocks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And she's like, "It's been a while." It was awesome. But yeah, man, she did some Top Gun shit, dude. And
Don't
she
mention Tom Cruise to me again, please.
not Tom Cruise, Top
kidding.
Gun,
I'm kidding.
Top Gun. But she did some Top Gun shit, man, and opened up the wing flaps, right? The air brakes,
Yeah.
and then spun her ship around and shot that sucker, dude. That was cool.
I liked it.
I bet he wasn't expecting that shit.
Yep, but as they're headed back to their castle, those bomber ships come and they start dropping bombs on her castle. She freaks out, says, "My home," and chases them down.
Those mud scuffers.
Yeah, those mud scuffers blew up my home. So then she takes after them. She kills one of them.
Yeah.
And then Mando's like, "No, we have to turn back." He looks on his radar. There's a whole fleet right in front of him. So she finally listens after him trying to talk her down for a good second. They turn around. They head out to the space, and of course he sends her some what's it called?
Excuse me. Jump coordinates.
Jump coordinates.
Hold on.
There you
Hold
go.
on before we get too far. I love this part. She said they get flying side by side, right? And she said, "Not bad for an antique." He goes, "You take any damage?" She said, "Not a." She said, "Just shields." And you?
Not
He
a
says,
scratch.
"Not a scratch." And it was just his body language and what he said. I'm like, what a fuck. Sorry, what
Gee.
yeah, what a just awesome dude, man. I like that guy was awesome. Yeah, and then that's
Yeah, she says that we should take them in and have a look at
just
them
to be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to be safe. And as they were going in, that's whenever they saw that the bomb was happening. So he sends her the jump coordinates, and they jump away.
The Mandalorian.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's it. That's all there was of this episode.
Yep, that sucks, huh? Super short.
Yeah.
Because after that, it was not the Mandalorian episode. It cuts over to the Dr. Purslings? Pursing.
I think just Shing.
Yeah. There's no L.
But you know what we do get to see? Coruscant.
Coruscant in all of its glory.
Yeah. So I got down here. We're back in Coruscant to bear witness to Dr. Pershing's giving a speech. All right. And you ready for me to go over the speech, or you want to say anything first?
Yeah, first off, if you don't know who Dr. Pershing is, he's the one that was season 1 of Mandalorian. He was the one that was trying to protect Grogu, thinking that Mando was going in there to kill him. He said, "No, please don't hurt him. He's just a little guy." He's actually the one that was taking his DNA to make some kind of clone, which probably turns out to be Snoke later on. Because we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting character
Yep,
for sure.
I didn't like this episode.
You didn't like this episode?
We'll get to that in a minute.
But anyway, so the speech is as follows: 1.5 pages long. It's not great, but I did it, and it's done. All right, so here we go. Buckle up. It says, I appreciate you letting me speak here tonight. The amnesty program saved my life. There are many of us who had no choice in working for the Empire. But now, the new Republic has given us a second chance, so thank you. I believe that the pursuit of knowledge is the most noble thing someone can do. Sadly, my research was twisted into something cruel and inhumane at the behest of a desperate individual, intent on using cloning technology to secure more power for himself. But despite the shameful work of my past, I now hope to help the new republic in whatever way I can. Though that work is now behind me and I regret what I did, I assure you that my original intentions were good. Now, he pulls on his ear, and I think every time he pulls on his ear, that signifies something. Whether that's to his other, I think he has a split personality kind of, where when he pulls on his ear, he reverts to his old self and his old work, or it's when he pulls on his ear that rehabilitation crap, that amnesty program, that reincentive insinuate or whatever it's called. I think that's having a side effect, and he's reverting back.
See, I noticed he does it when he gets agitated, or like if he can't, like if he doesn't know what he's doing is right, what he actually feels. So honestly, you think he's already been underneath the mind flayer once?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I think. But anyway, so he pulls his ear, and he says, "When I was young, I lost my mother, the person who I admired most. Her heart gave out, and had a simple organ cloning been available on my home world, her death would have been easily preventable. It was then that I'd vote to make it my life's work to help others avoid such needless loss. Thanks to the groundbreaking work of the Commonians or Commonians,
No, Commonians is right.
Commonians,
Yeah, Commonians.
yeah,
Commonians.
Commonians.
Yeah,
Thanks to-
we are so sorry that we always butcher this. I was literally watching it earlier today, and I was like, that's how you pronounce it. It's out the head now.
and
I completely
and
forgot.
still, I'm the same way, and I'm still fucking it up. So, thanks to the groundbreaking work of the Commonians, Commonians. Anyways, we know that
Kiemonans.
we know that cloning can duplicate an individual from a single genetic strand. What my work explained, what my work explored was the hopes of combining multiple strands to create replicas that incorporate the best genetic attributes of both donors.
Right. Did you hear what he said right there?
Yeah, replicate the
Well,
the best of both donors.
he put multiple different DNA into one to create the perfect little DNA sample. Now, right after that, his speech is over, right?
Yep.
Okay, he walks outside and he's talking to somebody, and somebody's interested on what's going on. This dude says, let me find out where it is. Okay, here we go. He gets intercepted by. Oh wait, here we go. Right after he says the first cast rejected. Okay, so he says he's talking to this person. He said that the first subject pretty much rejected it almost immediately, and then he goes, "But do you think he was talking about the second person that got it? Like." It took to them and this, that, and the other, but because immediately he was interrupted by all those rich people.
Right.
So the first person, it got rejected immediately. They did some stuff, and then the second person, but the second one, I want to say that it took to them, and I think that that's how they made Snoke.
Well, my thing is, he said 2 donors, right? Well, we know the Kimonians.
I think it's multiple. I think it's multiple donors.
Kimonians. I think they only used one donor to make all the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
They used one person, yes.
So why does he need multiple?
Well,
because if you're making clones, you don't need multiple. You need one genetic strand.
well, when you're making a Sith Lord to try and he's trying to make somebody that would have the midichlorians with them.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to do that, he has to take it from multiple people and try and combine them. And I think that's how he's getting, because you can't just clone somebody and the midichlorians go with them. We found that out, and that's why Snoke is all. Snoke is a clone of
Palpatine.
Of Palpatine, and he's a fucked up clone, but he's like one of the only ones that actually have the midichlorians. After all their stuff that they tried, he was like one of the only ones that had midichlorians with them.
Yeah,
and he was all messed up. So I'm thinking he might have been like the first one to take it, and then the second one is like the Palpatine we see. That's all like. Apparently they never succeeded because he's still all messed up. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, now I want to go watch that movie. Good Lord. Help me. So yeah, what do you think about that guy that said, what if I would have got drafted? And he's like, oh, she's like, honey, that was the Empire. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Empire, New Republic, Rebels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These rich people, man, they don't give a crap about any of it. Yeah. They just want to live their life sitting there on their nice little thing of Coruscant. That's why the people down below say that the higher class, they don't care what's going on in this world. Mm-hmm. All the Republicans of Coruscant, they don't care. Because they just stay up in their little houses on top of the city, not worrying about anything that's going on. Doesn't matter who's taken over. If it's the Republic, the Rebels, the Empire, that's the main place. So the rich are fine. The rich are always fine. And you get to see that.
Ain't that awesome?
I don't like it at all.
I was hoping that guy would be secretly squished or something, or maybe picked up by a big bird, dropped off a build. I don't know. I was like, this guy's a douche.
I do like the fact that they're putting all these
different people and different species.
No, I'm having a brain fart. I say their name all the time. The fish people.
Something to do with calamari.
Yeah, the calamari. That's not it, right? That's the fucking food.
Oh my God.
Dude, this is making me mad.
I'm going to Google fish
people. Oh my gosh.
Fish people in Star Wars.
Thank you.
Wow. And let's see what we get here. The Mon Calamari.
Mon Calamari. Oh my gosh.
And look, y'all, if you've watched our videos, you know for a fact
Yeah, you know.
that is in every video. He and I both say the Mon Calamari.
Yep. I've said it multiple times. Go back and watch them. In fact,
Look,
if you're watching this and you haven't seen all of our other videos, make sure to go check that shit out because it's actually pretty good. Make sure to go do it right now. Stop what you're doing right now. No, actually, finish this one. Finish this one. Then go back.
If you're going to stop, at least like and subscribe first, and then go back to watching.
You know, mark it as favorite. You know.
Yeah. And knock on that bell. Ding, ding. Sorry. But yeah, you know, this episode was not that great for Mando. I mean, it was all right.
Yeah, 10 minutes. That's it. First 5, last 5.
It was all right? But at the same time, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was not all right.
Well, afterwards.
So he takes that train ride, that bus ride, or cab, and that taxi driver is a robot, right? And he turns his head around like, hey, by the way, have you checked all this stuff out? And the guy's like, like you're supposed to be watching the road, dude. And
yeah,
like,
I was wondering about that. Do you think that it's just like programmed to go straight? Like kind of like, you know how our cars, the Teslas drive by
sensors?
The Teslas drive by themselves. Do you think they're robots and like drive by themselves?
I don't know, dude, but if those eyes are really seeing where they're supposed to be going, that was some hella sketchy stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, anyways, the robot goes on and on and on and on about talking about all this different stuff. And he's like, oh, by the way, we're here. That was a quick trip. Yeah, you wouldn't shut up. So, anyways, Dr. Person's going up to his Amnesty condos, and you know he sees a group of people that's like him, you know, different officers and
right. He's scared to even. He's actually while he's walking by them, he looks kind of nervous.
Right, like he doesn't want to be recognized.
But big dude goes, "Hey, come have a drink with us."
Yeah.
Of course, he was working with Moff Gideon. He's just now been rehabilitized. He's going to the Amnesty housing for the first time, and he meets these people. All of them have like a similar story.
Yeah.
But he looks over and he goes, "I didn't know that somebody from Moff Gideon's ship would be here."
And then that guy was like, Moff Gideon, or Gideon, huh?
I didn't know you worked for him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so.
And the other dude's like, I heard he escaped. I heard he escaped from wherever they said that they were going to go lock him up. I can't remember, but they said that he.
And then one guy also heard that he was on a mind flare.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then she was like, "Yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't know what to say, you know." And they're like, "Just sit down, man. Have a drink with us, dude. Just calm down. You know, let's just be friends. You know, we're all different now, and we all work here." And she said, "I'm here to been here." She said, "I'm rehabilitated, just like you are. So let's just hang down and have a good time."
Right.
So they ask him, "What do you miss?" And he's like, "From the Empire." And the guy's like, "No, goodness, no."
Yeah, he goes, "What do you mean? I'm glad the Empire's gone." And whoa, guy. I meant like food wise.
yeah, like no everyday stuff. You know what he says? He misses biscuits.
Well, I miss little travel biscuits.
Yeah, the little travel biscuits and from the food rations.
Yeah.
Like, dude, your life sucked that bad. That's what you missed? Like one dude, he said he misses the hyperdrive lights or the space travel. What do you call them?
The lights from hyperspace.
Hyperspace.
The blue lights from hyperspace.
Yeah. And anyhow, so they're talking. I'm sorry. I'm yawning again.
Yeah, they have a little conversation. He says that he misses the little biscuits, the yellow ones, and she says that she misses the red ones.
Yeah, Sith Lord.
Dun 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 dun
Dun dun
dun.
dun 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 dun
So
dun
the next
dun.
day happens, and he's off. He's at his little cubicle.
No! You forgot the night. He's listening to that little
Oh yeah, that's
voice
right.
recorder thing, telling about Coruscant and how that it's not actually the center of the galaxy.
Right, and there's more
Oh,
cities that are actually
there's
filled.
actually a couple
A
or a few
handful.
more.
A handful is kind of like what they said.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then someone rings his doorbell, and he's all
Sorry,
like,
we didn't
"Fuck,
finish
I'm
what we were
trying to."
saying. It's a handful of like it's like one of the only cities that are completely like the Earth is completely made out of like cities. They're
But
like
no, the whole planet is nothing but cities,
yeah, they're air people. They live in the skies. If you live on the ground, you're like
which we'll find out is not really the ground.
well, no, there are people that live
No,
below.
nobody lives on the ground.
Well, I mean, what
It's
happens?
all low,
What's
but
the
it's not on
lower
the
sector?
ground.
Okay, the lower sectors. Yeah, you see
Yeah.
them all
The
through
lower
Clone Wars.
stuff.
You see them all through Clone Wars.
We'll call it ground level to
Yeah.
make it easy, but it's not really the ground. It's manufactured. That's what I didn't know. I thought it was ground level. That's not the ground. That's just the bottom. That's the
It
bottom of
is.
the
It
barrel.
is something that they say like one of the only spots that are actually visible from up here.
We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, he opens the door and he finds that there's a box outside. I thought he was going to get killed for sure.
I
Right
thought it was a
there.
bomb, but then
But
I was like, they
anyways,
can't kill this dude so fast. But maybe he's not that big of a part like we thought. Maybe he was like the science geneticist and it's showing that they're fucking after him. But that didn't happen. Go ahead, James.
nope. And he goes inside, opens it up to discover it's a box of nothing but little yellow travel biscuits. The whole box.
Bum 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 bum.
Ba bum 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 bum. And then yeah, and I thought that was kind of cool, right? Because I was like, so he's got a guardian angel. Cool. That's what you're led to believe.
I thought for sure. I was like, now who the freak is messing with him? That's all I was worried about. I was like, somebody's messing with this guy. Go ahead.
So that's the end of that scene. The next morning, we come up to the mail guy. Has no title, has no descriptive term. It just says good morning. So I call him the mail guy, the guy that delivers some of the bullshit to archive.
Yep. Did
Yeah,
you
so he
know?
says,
He
sorry, go
goes.
ahead.
He goes. Happy Bindu Day. You know what Bindu Day is?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't know either. So I decided to look this up.
Yay.
Bindu Day is the 5th day of the week on Coruscant. You know who the Bindu is, right?
Yeah, that's that one dude on Rebels
On
that taught
Rebels.
Kanan Jarrus how to see without using his eyes.
Well, apparently on Coruscant, there's 5 days of the week. There's not 7, there's only 5. You got Prime Day, Centrex Day, something like that. Tongs Day, which they say later on. Zalda, Zhell Day. Zal Day. Zal. I don't know. And then you got Bindu Day, which is the 5th day of the week. Those are the 5 days of the week on Coruscant. Now,
That is pretty bizarre.
I actually didn't look at this until I was like, ooh, Bindu Day. I thought it was like a celebration, right? But then soon afterwards, they said Tongs Day. I know we're not there yet, but I want to go ahead and skip because I want to. Tongs Day got me interested. I was like, okay, what's up with these? What's up with these holidays? I guess Bindu Day is a holiday. This day has to be like it's only like a few days later, and that's what got me thinking. I had to look it up, right? But as soon as I typed in Tongs Day, it told me that the Tongs were actually the people from Coruscant, like the original people from Coruscant.
Yeah.
And then I got a little bit deeper down and I found out that are one of the first people that conquered Mandalore.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was like, holy fuck.
Maybe that's why it's brought up.
I'm guessing. So start Googling stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, that's all I wanted to say.
But no, you're good. So the mail guy says, "Good morning, L52. Happy Bendu Day. Another set for archival. Oh, and I saw your talk last night. Really interesting stuff. Yeah, I had no idea you were so experienced. Wonder why they have you down here."
Yep.
And yeah, so after that scene, it shows him talking to that little robot. Do you have any bad feelings towards your coworkers? Do you have any ill feelings towards the New Republic? And anyways, I'm like, what the? Could you imagine having to go through this, but be free, quote unquote, free? Nah, dude.
Well, they were murdering people.
Yeah, but still.
He was like, they captured a little bitty Yoda. It was taking his blood and
Yeah. But so it cuts over to them going on a date, right? Him and
well, she did tell him that one night that they were talking. If you ever want to go see the town, let me know and I'll show you around.
yeah. So they go out for a date, and they got like I don't know if it's a lollipop or an ice cream, but it looks sparkly, right? It looks like photon fizzle.
No, they say that she calls a photon fizzle later on. Come on, I'll go get you a photon fizzle. But with those ones, I'm not too sure. They do look like some kind of glowing ice cream, in my opinion.
Like stars almost. So here's where we find out, if you don't already know, that Coruscant has a population of 1 trillion permanent residents, meaning they live on that planet all year round. 1 trillion. And right now, at Earth's populations, I think it's 7 billion people?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there, 7 or 8.
Yeah. So we're kind of freaking out about 7 billion. Coruscant has 1 trillion.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
a lot of people.
Once we start living in the skies, gal, we know we're going to get close to the Star Wars age.
So. Yeah. So, anyways, and we see the peak, and we also get to see, for the first time in live action, the peak of Umate, the highest mountain on Coruscant.
Utzma.
Umat.
Yeah, Utzma.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
it's UTMA, right?
UMATE. UMATE. So Umate?
No, it's like because that's what it's.
But anyways, it's the highest mountain on Coruscant. It's actually the only place on the entire planet where the surface you can see on Coruscant.
Yep.
It says here, I got it written down. It's the only place on the entire surface where you can see the planet itself.
Yep.
And I have like 2 exclamation points with it, like a emoji. I wrote that in there. Yeah. I'm kind of awesome that way.
She tells him to reach over there and touch it. And he goes, "Can we?" And she goes, "Go on."
It's not the Empire.
Yeah. And of course, it is the Empire. The New Republic is messed up, but I'm not going to talk about that at this moment.
Yeah, I don't have good feelings about them. So that little droid says, step back, you're not allowed to touch it. And he drops his little ice cream thing. And
no
he's
littering.
Like, no littering. That was class. And then she says, "Come on, I go get you a photon fizzle."
Yeah, what's the next part on that?
So they end up going back to their amnesty condos or whatever. And then she says, she's talking to him about, pursuing his dream. Why don't you just go ahead and pursue what you want to do?
Oh yeah, and he says it's illegal here, and yeah, go ahead.
And so then he kind of turns around, right? And she says, "Stop! You want to help the New Republic? They just can't see it yet." She says, "If you want to go,"
she sets him up.
huh?
She sets him up.
Basically, yeah. But she says, if you want to go, let me know, and we'll go. And so the next day he goes to work again, and he gets some more archive stuff, and he tells the guy, he says, hey, I see this is all being coded to be destroyed.
She honey dicked them.
Huh?
She honey dicked them.
Oh, honey dicked?
Yep.
Yeah, damn. That's messed up. Anyway, so he says, hey, I know they're said to be destroyed. And why can't we use it? It's perfectly good information. And he's like, but it's the Empire's information. The New Republic wouldn't like that. Trust me, it would actually hurt the New Republic. And he's like, no, I want to use it. He's like, no, we can't. It'd be like you'd have to file a 1093 or something. And amnesty people can't do that.
1023, but that was close.
Or 1023. Yeah, I didn't write it down, so
Pretty sure
I
I
knew
did. I just gotta
and
find
in the
it.
3. But yeah. So then he does that little meeting with that stupid robot thing, and then you can tell he gets kind of flustered, right? He pulls on his ear.
Yeah, it does. It does not go the same way as it did the first time.
Mm-mm.
And he
So
does.
anyway.
He starts to pull on his ear, and then he gets frustrated. Like I said, I feel like he does it when he gets frustrated.
Yeah.
And then
So
he goes.
he tells it
1023.
whatever 1023. Heck yeah. Good memory, Clinton. Me, I was close. I was only one number off.
Yep.
If you
Oh,
go
you
in
said-
order, it's like 7.
Yeah,
7.
the third.
70.
The third one you got off.
Yeah. So anyway, he tells the robot. He said anything we do for the New Republic it takes precedence, right? Like no matter what it is. And the robot's like, yeah, as long as it's for the New Republic and it's good for the New Republic, then yeah, it takes precedence. It's like, okay, thank you. And you're like, have a good day.
Yeah.
And so
I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? That's,
yeah, when he goes to grab on his hand, like, I'm sorry, did you not understand or hear me? Yeah, that's
yeah. Whenever I
funny.
asked if he had any ill intentions or feelings against the New Republic or any of its employees, it's like he didn't answer. And that robot should have already known that it was speaking just fine.
Mm-hmm.
That
It didn't stutter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, anyway, so he goes back to her house, says, hey, we'll take I'm ready to go get this stuff. And then she says, tomorrow night. So they take the train. And on the train, we'll go briefly on this. On the train, they have to kind of bypass some things a little bit, like the little walkthrough passes that counts the people that pass through there. She has to kind of rig it up so with her foot so they can get through there.
Oh,
and then,
he says rig it up. Somebody walked through and she stuck her foot there.
yeah, she rigged it up with her foot. But anyway, so they get on the train finally, right? And the whole time, this dude's nervous. He looks like he's about to piss himself.
You can tell he's never done anything bad except unless it was for the Empire.
Unless it's forced. Yeah. And so, they get on the train, and that dude looks just like Cal's mentor.
No,
when he's
Zeb is like Cal's mentor.
Oh, so anyways, that's what she says. Tongues Day, am I right?
Tongs Day, yeah.
Tongues Day,
And
yeah.
the Tongs are the first people. They're the people from Coruscant. They're the original people from Coruscant, but they actually they are the first people to take over Mandalore too. So boom, that's cool.
So yeah, so the train takes off, and they get going down the tracks, and eventually those little robot droids come through and say, tickets, please. Give me your tickets. And they're like, well, we don't got no tickets. We got to bounce. And so they start heading the other way, right? And let me ask you, looking down at an invisible barrier pulling in a train, do you think you could jump across that? There's no floor. I mean, it's not that far of a drop.
Yeah,
but, when they have to cross the trains.
The first time I was watching that, it makes me a little nervous. But after that old guy did it with the glasses, I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really not that far of a jump, and it would seem super scary. But after you actually jump, I don't like it's really. It's like what, a couple feet.
I feel like I would overcompensate the jump, and I would
And
just
run into the
jump too
door.
far and run into the door and then fall back. Because I'm the kind of guy that I'd rather have too much than not enough.
Dude, I used
And
to run and jump around the like in the creek. We used to go to this waterfall and like jump on huge ass rocks that were down there, one to the other. So I don't know. I'm pretty good at jumping.
Yeah.
I used to spend a time in a. We talked about this on After Dark. I'd spend time in a tree and used one tree to get down, climb from tree to tree. It was awesome.
Yeah. Side note here. Did you hear me yawn?
Nope.
Good. All right. So, they eventually get to the end, and the guy's freaking out, and she's like, "Dude, just trust me." And he looks back and he sees that droid coming, right? And she says, "We're gonna jump, and we're gonna jump, and we're gonna jump." And then time goes
Well,
by.
the first time he walks through that door after the first jump, and all those rich people, you could tell it's like the higher class. They were like staring at him, and he goes, "Tongs Day, huh?"
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, "I'm gonna have to work on you."
We're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah. So she jumps, and she jumps at the right moment. Then I thought she was a Sith.
Yeah, no, I don't think she has any force powers, but it did. I honestly, at that time, I was like, you have to have some kind of force ability to be able to make that jump. But yeah,
No, not that. To know when.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You have to have some
Yeah.
to make that jump because she knew exactly when to do it.
I
So
put
I'm
on
agreeing
here.
with you, but like, I don't think she is. I don't know what you're doing right now, but you better be hitting that like and subscribe button right down there. Make sure to go ahead, hit it, like, and subscribe. Subscribe. It's free. Just do it. They jumped out of they jumped off the train.
Oh yeah.
They made their way. When they were looking at that starship, in my opinion, the Star Destroyer, it seemed small. Now, there are different types of Star Destroyers, or are there? I could have sworn there was a smaller ship, but I can't remember what it's called. And I tried looking it up. I tried googling it, and I didn't get a good answer. So
Yeah. All right. So
if we said Star Destroyer and it's wrong, just let us know down in the comment. Don't yell at us, please.
actually, yeah, all caps, please. Only if you say nice things. So, yeah, I got written down here. She knows when to jump. Do you think she's a Sith Lord? And the reason I say that is because the red lollipop, plus the red crackers.
Red crackers. And whenever she shocks them, it's all yellow at first, but then when she turns it up to high voltage, it turns red too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
that could
know.
be because it's dangerous.
It's just from yellow to red, all these other different times. It's just, well, the dude actually had a purple sucker indicating light and dark, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, they go to the ship. They get inside, and he's like, "Aren't we gonna have to be quiet?" She's like, "There's no one here. There's no one. There's no reason to guard it because it's inoperable." So, anyways, they get inside, and I was kind of blown away by all the little bugs with those little yellow eyes, yellow green eyes.
I don't remember them.
They're like little beetles.
There was probably stuff there,
They're
but
not that little. But, yeah.
the first time I watched it, I didn't really pay attention to this part, and then I was writing stuff down in the second time. Actually, you know what? I lie. I was actually watching them both times. I just don't remember the little bugs.
Yeah. But anyway, so they finally get to the door, right? And
Well,
they find the room.
first off,
and-
they actually meet each other for the first time as they're going. Yeah, she says her name and he says his name. He says he's what's his face?
Where do I got this written down at? I have it written down. I know I did.
So am I not there? Like, yeah, it's before they get to the lab and he jizzes.
Shut up, dude. Dude, I have it written down. I know I did.
Yeah, it's while they're walking through the spot. Like, well, I got wrote down. Let me see.
What? Oh,
All right, they make their way
I
through the
know what
ship.
happened. Instead of writing that down, I filled in all the blanks. Because where her name was, where I talked about her at in my notes, I left blank and I went and filled them in. And I never wrote their names down because we already know his name.
Well, hers is Ella Kane or something.
Yeah,
Elia
Elia
Kane.
Kane.
Elia Kane. Ella Kane.
A lot of Kane.
It's Elia Kane.
Kane. The Kane of existence.
Burn.
Oh my god. I love Bane so much. You know, after Bad Batch is done, maybe we should get into the second book.
I think we're gonna have time to, so we might do that.
We might do it, yeah. All right, so back to the show. Anyways, they introduce each other, right? And this is where we find out she's communications officer. And they get in the room, and he just grabs what he needs. And he's like, I've been dreaming about this ever since I was a little boy. I worked with my mom. And just being in a room like this is like, oh, so great. It's like if we actually got to step foot on the Razor Crest or the Millennial Falcon.
Yeah,
You know,
any of them. I'll be happy with the Ghost.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I would just jizz everywhere. Just
put me in the N1.
baby, up, Scotty. Oh wait, that's a different genre. So, anyways, and he grabs what he needs, and she said, "You always knew what you wanted to do." Let me rephrase it. Let me re-say this one more time.
Ever since I was a little
slow.
kid, when my mom used to take me to something. Go ahead.
She said, and I quote, literally it's in quotes.
Oh,
you always knew what you wanted to do. So that tells me
bum 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 bum
bum bum bum bum. That tells me, or at least it hints at the possibility that she's been watching him for a while.
Yeah, she had this plan from the beginning. She's undercover, dude. She is undercover from the from Moff Gideon's ship because Moff Gideon's still alive. Right. She's undercover. She's in there trying to find the spies. She probably got put in there at this around the same time as the Doctor did. Yeah, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Well, my thing is though, she said that she's passed him hundreds of times on Moff Gideon's ship. I think she's been watching him.
Well, she said, and I never said hello.
Like a fanboy.
You don't remember that's the person that went straight to Moff Gideon and gave him the information about something. I can't remember. I just remember her little, and then walking up and telling him something in season 2.
Well, I can guarantee you for a fact that I'm probably going to watch season 1 tomorrow.
I've already made it through season 1. I'm on season 2. I really gotta watch that again.
But yeah, so that seems to me a little suspect that she's watching him. And then, do you think they've been there? I was going to ask you right here. Do you think they've been there before, where she set him up previously, and he failed? She enticed him to go get a part from that ship, and he did, and he failed. And the side effects of him failing is him grabbing his ear because it's like either a memory or a sensation or something.
I'm so lost on what you mean.
Okay, do you think they've done these before?
Who?
Do you think
you think that they've been wiping? You think that they've been wiping his mind and putting him through the same test over and over again to see if he qualifies?
If he's truly
Look, I don't remember what movie that is. But you need to stop thinking about that movie.
No. What movie is that? Well, the reason I asked that, the reason I asked that is, you always knew what you wanted to do. It sounds like she's been watching him for a while.
Yeah, and she has ever since he's been there. I mean, I'll agree with you.
I mean, you don't have to agree, but that's where I'm getting my hypothesis from.
I'll agree. It sounds good. I'm going to tell you that.
But and when they get caught, right? They get caught.
It doesn't really make sense.
Their weapons.
It doesn't really make sense because she turned up the voltage at the end. But
right, maybe she's trying to get all that stupid crap out of his head. But anyways, so they get caught, and she takes that box. Now, this is when I say this, take out of consideration that they haven't done it before. This is brand new. Do you think she wanted him to pick up the box that they needed to continue his clone work or geneticist work without him? And they just needed to know what they needed? Because she takes the box off somewhere else.
I don't know. They all left her there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand it.
But there's a lot of up in the
confused.
air. There's a lot of up in the air right
I
here.
want to say that sounds good, but I'm gonna
But
let you
anyway.
have your hypothesis. I think she was just an evil person, and
Yeah,
she's working undercover for Moff Gideon,
yeah.
like I was saying.
And then at the end of it, right? The commissioner says, it's a shame that he fell for that shit again. I really thought he was going to pull through this time.
No, he said I felt like he was doing well. He didn't say anything about again. He said I felt like he was doing
Maybe I
well.
added that in there. I didn't write it down. So
He said I felt like he was doing well. What happened?
yeah, but and then he's like, hey, and he's called the commissioner, by the way. He's like, hey, do you want to go? And you're such a good employee. Do you want to go with me and get out of here? Not on a date or anything, but she's like, hey, do you mind if I stay? He's a friend. Yeah, he fell off, but I want to be here for him. And then she turns to the dial. So, predictions. Do you think he's going to be dead?
I think he's gonna be like,
Useless, like what's her name on Andor?
yeah. What's her name on Andor?
His girlfriend.
No, she's still coherent, kind of. I think he's gonna be more messed up, like
Kind of like a vegetable.
no, like Eleven's mom. Yeah, like Eleven's mom off of
Yeah.
Stranger
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what's crazy is at the end of it, she's eating a yellow biscuit instead of a red one.
Well, I think she got those from him. She took them.
Maybe, or do you think that's really her favorite and she was lying the
No, she's
whole
evil.
time?
She's eating his. That's like consuming his heart.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing.
Leaving the breadcrumbs to follow.
I don't like that girl. I don't like the way she hunched over when she's talking.
Yeah. So we get back to Mando
I
and
understand, girl.
Bo-Katan.
You got some guns. All right, put them down. Let the little. You don't have to go like this. Mm-hmm. You can sit straight up. It happens.
Yeah.
Guys go like this when they want to feel big. Girls go like this. I'm kidding.
Moving on.
If that
So we
offends
get-
you, I'm so sorry.
No, don't offend me, but we are sorry that if it does offend you. Comment down below how bad you want to beat his ass.
And I'm not a lover. I mean, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
He really
God
is.
damn.
But anyway,
See,
so we
looked and
get
smiled. Go
we
ahead.
get back to Mando and Bo-Katan, right? And they land on the planet. Do you know the name of that planet?
I wrote it down. No, I didn't.
Okay, so Paz Vizsla. How do you say his first part? Paz.
Paz.
Paz. So Paz Vizsla says, "Come no further. You're an apostate, Dinjarin." and then Mando says, "No longer." Just like you said, remember? No longer apostate.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he says, I've been to the mines of Mandalore. Paz says, impossible. The mines were collapsed in the purge, and the planet is cursed. Mando says, these are lies meant to keep us in exile. Paz says, how do we know that it's not, or how do we know that it is not that it's not you that's lying? Sorry, I didn't put that in there. Bo-Katan said, he speaks the truth. I was witness.
Yeah, I witnessed. And then he
Paz
goes,
says, and who are you, Night Owl?
You know why he calls her Night Owl, right?
Because her helmet.
Well, no,
And that was a little rebel
that was Death
deal.
Watch. It was
Yeah.
Clone Wars, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was part
And
of
he
Death
goes,
Watch.
and he goes, "Who are you, Night Owl?" She said, "I am Bo-Katan
Or
of Clan Kreese."
it might have been Rebels. I am so sorry if I'm wrong on this, guys. Go ahead.
But he says, "Your house has fallen from the way. You are both apostates." Mando goes, "We've been to the living waters. I bring proof." Paz says, "We shall see." So they go inside to talk to the armor. She checks it out, and it turns blue in the water. So my question is the waters indeed magical? And is the waters what is required to make the armor special?
I'm gonna say that there's a fucking mythosaur down there, so it's pretty goddamn special to me.
Magical.
No, special is good enough.
Ah, come on, man. Anyway, so
That's some special
says-
water and made it turn blue, man.
Yep. Child alert.
He
Child
bathed.
abduction.
He bathed in the water that turns blue.
Yeah. Turns your balls blue.
Hey.
So you're a virgin.
I think they take the metal and they cool it in that water, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So maybe it's some kind of magical thing. I don't know. But anyways, the armor says, Din Djarin, you are redeemed. This is the way.
This is the way.
And Bo-Katan Kreese, by creed, you too are redeemed. Bo-Katan says, but I did not walk the way. The armor said, did
Have
you
you
bathe
taken
in
off
the
the-
living waters?
Have you taken off your helmet since you bathed in the waters?
I have not. Anyways, and then the armor
Sorry.
says, then you may join our covert and live as your ancestors once did. You may leave at any time that you wish. Until then, you are one of us. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. And then everybody pats her on the shoulder.
Bo-Katan.
welcome to the club.
Bo-Katan.
But I got a problem with this.
Mando. No, they actually call him Din Djarin. Sorry.
I got a problem with this.
Go ahead.
She didn't freaking say
Recite
the
the
creed.
stuff. It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. You just
No.
sink your balls under some water and you're good.
No, you gotta sink your whole body, dude. You gotta bathe. Except
Hey, look, if you wash your balls in living waters, don't that count? It's
technically,
bathing, right?
technically, they had all their clothes on, and he didn't take off his helmet.
Yeah.
So is it bathing if you don't wash your hair?
I don't know, man.
He didn't use no soap. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He wore
But
all
yeah.
armor. Not one bit of that water touched his skin. Well, you know what? He didn't pressurize his helmet. We found that out because he couldn't breathe.
So I will admit for the record one more time. You were right, Clinton. He did fall off into the deep end. But I'm partially right in saying that, it was probably from the bombs.
Yep.
If I said that, but
No, you did. You did. Well, you didn't say that. You said, well, what if the Earth shifted and it made it bigger? Something like that in the last episode. And that did happen because of the bombs that got dropped. So you were partially right.
so what was your favorite part?
My favorite part in this whole thing was probably when they started zapping that dude in the mind flare. It's like, yeah, take that, little fucker.
Damn, that's dark.
Oh, it's not dark. It was actually red, like lasers.
Shut up. My favorite part is probably when, I know this is stupid, but when Din Djarin was coming to, he was so excited, right? Here, I gotta sit up. He was all like, "Oh man, that was so rough. Oh fuck. Oh man. Oh," and he goes, "I am redeemed." like he realized what he was doing, and it was funny, man. That's my favorite part.
We're supposed to leave with least favorite.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine.
If it
But
makes
now,
you feel any better, I just realized I have a cup inside of another cup.
now we gotta do least favorites. So, what was your least favorite part?
Interesting. Least favorite part is probably no, it's not a part, but it's probably the fact that how they cut over to Coruscant. It was abrupt.
Oh, how they changed the story completely from the Mandalorian to a doctor that doesn't matter who just got his fucking brain wiped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it matters somewhere,
Where?
but I
Hopefully.
didn't. I didn't like the fact that it didn't have a smoother transition. Kind of like some of my edits.
Okay, listen. I want to tell you my favorite part. I mean, my least favorite part, and then we're going to move on to the ratings and why we rated them that way. My least favorite part is that he dropped his ice cream. And she had to go get him a fuzz. What's it called?
A photon fizzle.
A photon fizzle. But
That
then
sounds
again,
badass.
I didn't get to see what the fuck the photon fizzle was, and I was kind of hungry at the time, so. Now,
Oh,
ratings. Mine
yeah. Go ahead.
is a 6.
I was gonna give it like a 7.2 at least.
It's a 6.
I would give it like a 5 for the doctor part of the. I'll just say I'll give it a 5 for the Coruscant aspect of the show, and I'll give it like an 8.5 for the actual Mandalorian part of the show. And the reason being is I really did enjoy the fact that the Mandalorian.
The fucking 10 minutes he had through the 57-minute episode.
Yeah, the part that was the Mandalorian was really quite good. I mean, you see him come out of the water. You see him go back to the ship. You see do some pretty good aerial combat. And then you see Din Djarin jump and fall like a skydive and then stop himself and gets in the plane right before it gets blown up and then kills that dude.
You want me to tell you my reason?
Hold on. I'm not finished. Hold on. And then on top of all that, as they're flying back to base or the castle, it gets blown up. And now they got to go to the covert. Then they show up at the covert, and then they're both Mandalorians. Yay! That's why I give it an 8. The reason I give Coruscant a 5 is because it starts off in the middle of a story. They don't start off at the beginning of the story. They don't start off.
Wasted a whole episode. They could have made this whole episode, the whole episode, other than the Din Djarin part, the Mandalorian part, and they could have put it off as like a separate release to the Mandalorian.
Now,
They didn't have to add him. This is the Mandalorian. This isn't the Pershing.
I think it's going to come into play later. Listen, I think the reason why they added these two together, like they did, is they probably felt like any more than what they had in the Mandalorian aspect of it would have been too much. Okay, and any less would be way too less.
Dude, this guy got introduced, and then his mind wiped at the end.
Yeah, well, I didn't like the fact that they don't show him getting his mind wiped or getting himself right first, then to go into the business, right? That just shows him already getting.
That's because of the way you feel. But for me, that chick turned that shit up, and he's going to get completely brain fried. So therefore, he's not even going to be in it. So we just had this whole episode about him and that chick. Which, I mean, I just don't like that girl. Right. No offense. I mean, just stand up straight, please. I mean, That's all I'm asking.
You always got something against the women. You
Well,
didn't
I mean-
like what's her name's eyes.
Who? Oh, okay, but I do like a bunch of other women. Yeah.
Which one?
Name any other. I liked Bix from
Yeah, that's
Andor.
what her name is. The one that got all mind wiped, mind jiggled.
Yeah, she's awesome. I liked her.
Yeah. And then she got mind jiggled.
Yeah, then she turned weird. But she stood up straight. She didn't go like this. And I just have a problem with people staying like this. I don't know. It just looks weird.
I'm sounding like that kind of right now, but I'm trying not to cut my head off. See, whee! I'm kidding. All right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah. Take us out.
All right, Daddy. Anyways, thank you for watching our video, folks. If you like our content, please like and subscribe down below. Go check out our other videos. It's a Anything and Everything Nerd Style playlist. Not nerd style shit. It's Anything and Everything playlist where we do videos and talk about movies and superheroes and stuff like that. And we also have a D&D stuff that Clinton's dropping. And
Hey, by the way,
Yep.
I should get that new stuff out by this weekend. The new episode. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. And then, yeah, so that's coming along really nicely. Also, don't forget to watch our other Nerd Out videos where we talk about the Bad Batch, Path to Destruction book, part one, not part one, the first book of Bane. Super good book. Really good. Anyways, Bane.
Bane.
Yeah, so check that out. And then go check out our Facebook group. There's Anything and Everything Nerd Style on Facebook. We have polls, memes, questions, just random content, just fun stuff in general.
You like nerd shit? Because we do too.
Yeah. Welcome to the end of the exit of the video. Anyways, but yeah, also don't forget to check out our Discord, Anything and Everything Nerd Stuff. Also, go check us out on Spotify. We have that going now.
I do plan on uploading all of our other shit, at least for our main podcast, and then this podcast. It's going to be intertwined, like it would be in like real time, kind of. So you can see what we were doing pretty much throughout the time. And if you don't like the Star Wars podcast, I'm sorry, guys, that are listening to this on Spotify. And if you do like the regular one or don't like the regular one and you're listening to this on Spotify, hello, I love you for loving Star Wars. So
if you're watching this, not really watching, but if you're listening to this on Spotify, please rate us 5 stars. We would truly be in your debt.
you know what? Don't even worry about rating us. Just share us to your friends, share us to your enemies, and make sure we get out there. Because somebody else might rate us.
Rate us.
We don't need your rate. We need your share. Share the button. Hit the share button.
It makes us happy.
You make James happy. Trust me. And then I'm gonna have to see it later.
Ew, gross. I think that's it, man.
Yep. All right. You heard him? Get the fuck out of here, everybody.
Peace.
All right.
All right.
That was super long.
It was super long, and I think you're drunk.
I'm drunk. Yeah.